coffee ready. This time we're adding biscuits for Mindfully with Tumiche, the podcast. Okay, so the last time Ola and Denrele were in the studio, we were supposed to round off the series on talking about friendship. For those who have followed the series from the beginning, the first show we had Denrele coming to give us our understanding and definition of friendship. And then we also talked about when and how to work out of a relationship. And then Ola came, gave his own perspective too. And I did promise that I was going to get both of them in the studio to have that conversation. So I'll just be asking questions today. Today. I'm not necessarily hosting the podcast. I just leave them to have their own conversations. I'll guide it, I hope. And then we'll have this conversation. Do you still have your teas and coffee?
Cheers. Yes.
Biscuits?
Yes, we do.
Melt, actually. We can't.
Why do you think I went for the bigger cup?
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, Mindfully with Tumiche, the podcast. Series, hopefully, series conclusion. Denrele, hi.
Hi, Tumiche.
Ola, hi.
And that laugh sounded like millennials.
Alright, so Mindfully with Tumiche is an offshoot of, an offshoot of living mindfully, a journey to being. I know that these conversations have been very light-hearted and all that, and that's the idea. But you can pick the book, get a journal, and let me live in your head for a bit. Yeah, just 70 pages. So, who should I ask first? In the light of all of this, Ola, Denrele is sitting in front of me, and you guys have interacted for a bit. So, at least in the last episode. So, in the light of all of this and what you've come to find out since the last episode when you defined friendship, is that going to change?
No.
Okay. So let Denrele, because she's not heard it. She's not heard your definition.
Okay, so you know what I didn't do. My voice is not.
Okay, it is scenting. Go away. It's scenting.
What I didn't do was label, do that definition thing that confines friendship. But what I believe is there are certain conditions that guides what friendship is about. And for me, I think the most important one is trust. For me, it's trust. If I ask myself, I can't trust you, why do you want to be friends? If you've broken trust once, and the first time trust is given, for me, I'll just trust you if I want to be friends. I'll just trust you. But if you break it, you have to earn it. And that's a lot. That's a lot. And I know how that can be very hard. I know that can be very hard to earn the trust back. So for me, it's we're friends. How do I categorize? Oh my god! How do I categorize that friendship? And for me, it's trust. It's accommodating. It's being respectful. It's being it's honoring one another, right? For example, there's some things that some people would accept in their friendship, like, how are you? You're such a big head. I don't do that. Yes, I'm very weird like that because I don't. Why are you insulting me?
Is it big head you don't like, or which one?
The big head. Why are you calling me big head? I don't understand.
It's a term of endearment.
Keep it to someone that likes it. different strokes for different folks. And I usually tell you, so I find I become friends with people because I have a lot of young friends. I become friends with people who it's in their vocabulary to use. After a while, I'll tell you, I don't like it. Yes, I've come to that place where you cannot beat me. Friendship, la feshe. If it's not working, we can be very good.
We can redefine.
We can be friendly
Yeah.
without being friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me, that's just what it is. That's what friendship is for me. It has to be a safe space. It has to be a safe space. I can't have a challenge having a hard conversation with a friend. Somebody I call a friend. It cannot happen. Something is wrong. I have hard conversations with my mom because my mom is the most, you know how you with parents, you know, if I have had conversations with her and she's doing, no, you can't talk to me like that. If I have had conversations with her like that, who are you?
Really?
Yeah, so I'm not going to let any of what you've said cloud. I'm just going to go into my definition hasn't changed from the last time I was here, and my definition is very simple. Friend is someone I consider whose energy matches my own.
You're right.
Yeah, that's how I define my friends. So, and that energy can be on an intellectual level. It could be on a spiritual plane. It could be on an emotional level. It depends on where we meet, that convergence point for both of us. But once there's an agreed alignment for that convergence point and we match, that's the opening. That's for me what opens the door to a friendship.
Right.
That's it. So we can now from there begin to progressively take it to deeper levels of friendship.
Right.
Yeah, but what starts up for me, the point of entrance into friendship is we match. There's an energy, there's some agreed convergence point for both of us.
You know, I find this amazing because this again comes to show the difference between someone who is mostly introverted and somebody who is mostly extroverted. While an introverted person also loves energy, right? It's not a crave for an introverted person. But I can see how it is something that you must have.
Yeah.
So if it's not the first line of seeing for you, you don't want. For someone like me, I can intuitively think I want to be your friend, and you might not be showing any kind of energy. And I might just say, maybe I've seen something. There's something at the back of my mind. Something just clicks. Maybe it's how you spoke to somebody, or something you wrote that I liked, or something. And I've determined that I'm going to be friends with this person. And I would, even when you're not putting out the energy, because in my mind, I'm the one that wants to be your friend.
Yeah.
I'm the one that should do all the work. Let me show all the energy first.
Yeah.
And when you consistently reject, then I know that that's not going to work.
What if you explore further and then you find out that, okay, what you saw at the peripheral level that initially attracted you might not be deep enough for you to pursue?
Usually that doesn't happen.
Okay.
There's
But you
a
know
way,
it's a possibility, right?
It is, but for me, it does. It usually does. You see, I don't know how. Oh God, you're so beautiful. I can't be dramatic like that. When I think about God and the way He has blessed me, there's just. I usually am able to tell people with their hearts, and I don't even know how.
Okay, so let me come in there. Okay, I don't know why we're resonating. However, I've also found out that much as I think I know that I'm extremely intuitive with how I pick my friends and the people in my corner, I've also, that intuition has failed me. Yeah, because I was all trusting, I opened myself and all of that, and then the energy I get back, the energy I get back. But then, just like you said, I've told myself I'll be friends with you.
Right.
And then it gets to the point where you become friendly. I become friendly with a person, and they are outside of that circle of friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So sorry for barging into your conversation,
Yes.
guys.
No, it's fine.
Yes. So
Bye for now.
But you know we can see you. We're still in the same place. So I don't know where you're going to.
You know, so I agree with you, because I also check for energy, but I may not check for energy at the start, right? Because one of the things. So when people come and say, "Oh, I like you. I like to be friends with you," oh, it's fine. It's fine.
You actually get such
Yes.
requests.
Because if at this
my
stage,
spider senses tingle when I hear you.
at this stage of my life, I'm even going to.
You come to me and say,
No, I'm not going to ask. No.
Okay.
I don't have energy. I don't have energy to waste. What are you looking for? Friendship? Because people come to you and think that you're doing good, they can take from you, right? I don't have anything to give to anybody. You know, at this time. So let me know what. Oh, I just like how you write. I like how you talk. Because now I've realized that we are a gift as a human being. You are a gift, and people would see different aspects of you that they want to be presented with. You know, you give gifts out as presents now, so they come to you and say, "This is what they've seen. They've seen a side of you they like, and they want to associate with that side of you. It's not they've not seen the complete all of you, but they think that if they've seen this part of you and they assume that part of you is good." And I don't have a problem with that, because now that I know that I'm a gift to the world, I don't have a problem with blessing you with who I am. This is not pride. It's just knowing that I'm a blessing to this world. You know. So I'm asking you, what do you want? Because it's the same way I'm seeing somebody that I like on Facebook. I'm like, this person is making sense. So I like how they are doing their business. In my mind, I'm like, I'm not very business minded. So maybe if I connect with them, you know, because I think that's how human beings think. If and they're also very, what's this one? They're thinking, even if they don't ask, they're thinking, what does this one want? I've had people come out and say, because everybody that wants to be friends with me just wants to take from me, right? So I also ask that. So it's okay to say, okay, I just want to be friends with you, and you walk. You know, that energy is not initially there, but you push it because you know what. Maybe after a while you're like, oh, pushing it is me, then you can leave it. But I pushed friendship to some places where I'm friends with people 10 years down the line. I'm like, I did it because I'm not that kind of person. I get bored easily. So for me to consistently push such that I can trust this person now, from looking back to where we're just saying, hey, how are you? You know, the days of I5. You remember I5? Days of I5. Oh, she doesn't know I5.
Please tell her what it is.
Social media network that came before Facebook. You know,
right, so this is where you and I differ.
Was he global?
Yes, he was.
He was, but it just didn't.
I know my space for.
It just didn't take. So here's it for me. And I prior to about 3 months ago, I would dismiss this, but now I'm embracing it with everything that I have. I've had people, friends, acquaintances, whatnot, say to me that you won't keep you can't keep you keep conversations, you keep relationships, you keep people, you keep, even when they've left your life, you still reach out, you know how to.
Guys, I think I've had too much coffee.
So you're high.
I'm not high again. It's not going down. Coffee overdose. Caffeine overdose.
Oh, caffeine overdose. So before, let me speak Nigerianism. Before, yeah. It's like, are you not supposed to? Are they? Is this a compliment, or are they trying to say you're spreading yourself everywhere?
And it could be anything.
And it could be anything. But I've come to a realization now: if you can't take my energy, beat it.
That's it.
It's as simple as that. It will not change me from reaching out to you, because that is who I am, and that's what Denrele picked on in the last episode when she said I entered into my help space. That is my default. I want to be sure that anyone who is within my circle, circle.
Yeah.
Anyone who is within my circle is given enough to be. You know, whether you're giving it back now or you're not giving it back, that's on you.
Right.
That's on you.
Right.
But I, Oluwatomise, this is who I am. I will give of myself with boundaries.
Right.
With boundaries. But I'm not going to, diminish myself or say, oh, because no, that's on you. You are the one who has not come to a place of realization that this person, and this is not just to me now, that this person is showing you, just like a conversation we're having off the mic, showing you love, and you don't know how to respond to it. I have evolved to a place where I know that if we don't come back with it, it's okay. I'm fine.
Right.
But that I will say because I'm afraid of the person's perception or how the person will receive it will make me do it.
Nah,
not gonna happen again.
Nah. That's not going to make me be who I am not.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
So,
Friendship is very, very tricky.
Right.
Very, very, very tricky.
Very tricky. But at that stage, it's not. Okay, so maybe because of the way I think about friendship, is for you may not feel me because extroverted people have friends.
Why are you putting so many labels on me?
No, I'm saying an extroverted person has.
See, so that's where hold that thought. Don't lose that.
You don't have
train of
friends.
thought. I don't.
She doesn't. But she's so extroverted.
I'm actually a contraption of so many things and a contradiction.
You don't have friends or you don't keep friends.
No, she doesn't have friends.
Then you need to. She may not then be extroverted.
No, you don't want her in element.
You've been relating with me for how long now? Within this small
She may
space.
not.
What do you think I am?
So
She
you see,
may
you
not
see,
be.
so you see this thing
Because
about
you
human.
are because
I have different-
they really the energy is from outside majorly.
Yeah.
So how do you then cope? So how do you deal with an extroverted in a friendless space?
Being an extrovert.
In a friendless space.
Okay, so my need for relationship or need for
Friendship. Yes.
has been seriously tempered by so many things, right? In the sense that I can manage it now. I'm not dependent on external sources to feed that part of me anymore. Number one, I have a circle, very tight circle of people who are close with me, who've grown with me through the years and seen the different phases of who I am.
Right.
That's why I said energy when I defined initially and also specified about the different contexts in which that energy can match.
Right.
I could be your friend in a professional space.
Right.
Doesn't mean it translates to friendship on a personal level.
Right.
I could be your friend because we are going to be a parlor together. I'm just saying in that context.
Right.
Doesn't mean it translates to friend that will come to visit me in my house. I work in the entertainment industry.
Right.
I've worked in the entertainment industry for the past 15 years.
Right.
I've made friends along the line where I may not speak to them in 1 year, but the day we catch up, it's like a house on fire. We just moved from where we were before to that present stage, and we leave. And so there are a lot of friendships that are superficial for me, that operate on the ephemeral, superficial level.
That's it.
And then there are deeper friendships.
I don't have a ephemeral person. I don't call you a friend if you're not deep.
So it's a function of interpretation. What friendships means to us personally.
Yes.
Tumishe is my sister. She's my friend.
Right.
I have family members who are my cousins. They're my cousins, blood.
Right.
And they're my buddies. I have a cousin who he doesn't live in this country. Anytime he comes to the country, he's done all the bad things in the world. He knows the only person he can talk to is me about it. I say, sis, look, right now he said to me, there's something going on in his life, and he said to me, you're the only person in my corner.
Right.
And I need you at my back. And we've been close friends for he's my cousin, but we're tight like that for 16, 17 years.
I know. I know, fat, all that. And there was so much of misconception around that
So
relationship.
that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
So I'm an extroverted person. Still doesn't mean that he doesn't.
I'd still like to take a deeper look into your.
So let me say.
type.
So can I say something here when it comes to personality? And I think I said it at the book launch. We're all on a continuum,
Right.
on the spectrum.
Yes. I agree.
And whatever event will bring out the dominant. I don't think there's a particularly dominant one. Please let me finish this thought.
Yes. Fine.
Okay, so for the longest time in my life, everyone who knew me thought I was extroverted. Yeah? Because of radio, because of conducting in choir, because when I'm with people and talking. I remember when we're going to get married, my mother was telling my husband, "Are you sure you know this person?" And I was like, what do you mean? Hey, cooking sorrow, she doesn't talk, she doesn't say, and then he's like, who, what? Because he knew some certain things, so in his head is like, it's because they're not very involved in your life, and that is why they don't know this one.
Right.
Fast forward to 2 weeks after marriage, Bobin goes like, I've been scammed. I'm like, what? My mommy told you now? Like, I do. What?
So
You an introvert? Like, till it is going on 17 years now,
Right.
he's still struggling. He's still struggling to, to marry the person that. Don't worry, we have a wonderful marriage. But but now these days, what he says now is, oh, you've been so and so. So 1,000 words per day is gone for today. Yeah, so we're not gonna hear your voice again. Do you understand? So I think when this personality thing comes in friendships and all that,
Right.
it can actually be a crutch not to give of your best self. And you now say, oh, I'm an extrovert. Oh, and when you see an extrovert being quiet, you now think that something is wrong with them. No, they are trying to draw from their inside so that they can serve. Especially, do you know that there are extroverted people who are empaths?
Yes.
Yeah. So an extroverted person who is an empath, where do you think they get their strength from?
yeah.
It's from the inside it's from their head. The day people close to me, when they find out I'm an introvert, and like, what? How do you do it? However, the moment I finish that conversation, especially if it is not someone I'm close with, maybe I have to, be in a place where, and I leave that place, I'm locked up in myself for at least 6 hours. I cannot connect with somebody else. If it's a new person I'm connecting with, it's not going to happen. No matter what, it's not going to happen. So, but if you see me typing, chatting, you think I'm the most extroverted person. So I think that it is just, I like the labels. And I don't know whether it was Carl Jung or
It was Young.
I think it was Young that said we are on a spectrum. We are all on a spectrum, and there shouldn't be a particular label for one person.
Yeah.
So how does Ola brought it up now, but how then does this personality thing matter in relationships?
Oh.
How does it define it?
Are you asking me?
Both of you. I'm going to disappear again. So take it away. Yeah.
No, but I think that you should know yourself. Know thyself. Physician first, heal thyself. You need to know yourself. If you don't have a good grip on who you are, there's no way you'll be able to know what to serve in a relationship. There's no way you know how to give in a relationship. Because a relationship is not so much about I want, I need. It's about what am I putting out? What am I pouring into the other person? What value am I bringing to, the cliche to the table?
To the table.
It's very cliche, but yeah, that's what it is. For instance, there are things that you call me up sometimes, and just say, sis, I just want to talk. I drop everything and I listen.
And it's going on for 1 hour.
And it's going on. I drop everything and I listen. I don't have to offer insights or advice. I can offer perspective.
Right.
I can say, okay, have you thought about it this way?
Right.
I'm not giving you an advice. I'm not saying this is what you should do.
Right.
But just giving you a shift in how you. But I'm making myself available. There are things I could do in that 1 hour that could serve me.
Yeah.
Right.
But I forfeit that thing to be there for you. Or you can just say, sis, come over to my house. Or I say, oh, come over, you and your hobby. Come and spend time with me and just chill.
Right.
There are things you could decide in terms of business to do with that time. But you come and just chill, hang out. That is given. That is having understanding, a good grip of who you are.
Right.
And how the value that you place, the premium that you place on that relationship matters to the other person. And those are the things that add up, that are unspoken, but the person can see, can tell that this person values me and values what we have. Not in tangible forms. It doesn't necessarily have to be what you can count in terms of tangibles, but the intangibles that stay in the subliminal are more important.
All right, so here's another one I'm going to ask both of you. And I'm going to take it from values.
Yeah.
So how much does value, personal values, inform a relationship, friendship?
Isn't it a meeting ground to advance? I have to ask, because if a relationship, in my definition, which usually starts on the energy level. So Ola comes in here, I'm meeting him. I met him for the first time the last time. We haven't really communicated after that. We're meeting for the second time. So we're picking up from the energy that we built together from the first relationship encounter.
Yeah.
So we're building up on that energy now. We're continuing in that phase. So it's not like we really had to struggle and there's some foundation that we have. Now, if Ola now decides that, Ola and I decide that, we want to continue talking after this, and then we start to converse and we find out that, Ola believes in the strong values that you hold, in terms of family values, in terms of spiritual values. For instance, Ola believes that Jesus is Lord. But I can support Jesus is Lord with visiting my local herbalist for fortification sometimes. And Denrele believes very strongly that Jesus is Lord. And there's no need for, I'm not saying that for all caveats, guys. Denrele believes that Jesus is Lord, but there's no need for fortification. Those are strong spiritual values that we hold differently. And that can make or mar any possibility of us having a relationship moving forward in terms of a friendship now. Depending on if I'm ready or he's ready to break down those boundaries and say, okay, what I do that can't interfere with your life, so leave me in my space. But what it means is that we can begin to manage that spiritual conversation to say we won't go spiritual because it might cause conflict between us. If you decide to say, no, I don't believe that, only church. Sometimes these people they just
add something.
They've been doing this thing. You must add it, and I'm like, no, it's only church, prayer and fasting. And then Cliche comes out, I don't believe in fasting. It's just starving yourself. Just pray and go. So those are the kind of values that are important to how a relationship can grow and be sustained, because it's sustainable long term. And same with families' life, same with social life, same with professional. It could be on the area of professional. Somebody wants to grow, like somebody doesn't want to grow. Somebody thinks a university degree is just fine. Another person thinks I have to keep developing myself and keep upgrading and upskilling within my industry to remain relevant. So,
The kind of conversation.
Why are you looking like a lost though?
I don't know, there's so many things being said that I'm trying to just compartmentalize them. Values are really important. The truth is, whether you are aware or you are not aware, it would influence some of the things that you do. It will influence how you behave. So I growing up in a household where you cannot enter our house at any time and not find food. It wasn't that we were rich or anything like that. It was just that my mom said she grew up in a poor household where it was impossible for you to come and visit her parent or her father, as poor as they were, and not eat. Right. So I learned to not go and visit. Say you are going to visit somebody and go empty, and I didn't even learn it. I didn't know it was a
lifestyle
thing. It was just something that you go out with mom, say, and she's going, so it became, at a time, it became a test. Mom wasn't around, she wasn't in the country. And then a friend had come into the country and she said, go and visit this person. I didn't know that they are taking a bet that there was no way I would come and not bring something along. Do you understand? So I got to the person's place. I'd gotten something for her. And the next minute after I left, she called, but she's solo Sherio. That's a value, right? So there's no way I'm not going to take that into my friendship, where I'm giving of myself, even while I'm not expecting you to give back to me at that level. When it becomes me giving, and you are just taking, we're not going to match. Those are values that whether you speak of them or you don't speak of them, you will live it. You will, as in live it. It's not live. Yeah, so yeah, for me that values are, and I don't think we speak of values enough. I think it's a society thing, because it's not something we really live in our society. So I guess that people just don't talk about it.
All right, I would. Okay.
So would it be right to then say values could also be substituted, not substituted, but could be used, with culture. So the culture, because this is a culture. What your mom did became a culture in your household,
right?
Without even it being consciously taught,
right?
So it became a culture, and that culture was passed on to you.
Values are linked to culture, but not necessarily be a culture thing. When it becomes a culture, when it becomes a culture,
it's a lifestyle.
It becomes a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
So maybe our values, God of creation. I like the second part of our national anthem. By the way, I think I've stopped talking. I don't even want to. The first one again.
But the national anthem drives me to tears every time.
Yeah.
Right.
Every time.
And it's like
every
a word
time.
of prayer.
Every time it does.
Yeah.
So values.
Yeah. So that second, God of creation.
Director,
that's a
guide
value. That thing is an entire value system that if we put in place, it becomes a culture. And then once it becomes a culture, things that don't.
I think we should just. Can we sing it?
All right. Yeah.
Oh God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and live in just and truth. Great lofty heights attain, to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Woo! That's a whole value system down.
Value, and the output. value. That's why it says.
Yes.
You see the value.
Yes.
If you have this, if you have this, this is what this is the outcome.
Yeah.
So if that's life. It's not just friendship.
Yeah.
It's just not nation building.
Yeah.
It's a given that if you live your life by certain principles and styles. This is what you can. So I'm not even going to go about talking about whether it affects friendship or not. Can two work?
Except
that agreement is value.
Yeah.
It's my value system and your value system are the same thing.
Yeah.
We may not again, so we may not agree on some minors. Right? Let me quickly give this example of I was talking to this lady and we vibe on a lot. I've not met a woman that I've vibed on that level in a long time.
Yeah.
Conversation, okay. Even to the extent that when we started talking about
Is he talking
naming,
right now?
I'm giving you an
Now
instance.
you're more animated.
Why did you have to go there now?
So,
Let me finish.
she's a fantastic human being. So
Denrele?
no way.
Like he's
Right.
Everything is
So
alive.
the part of him just came out.
So they told me that, are you a lover? I said, I don't know what that means, but this is it. So,
Are you a what?
Let's go on.
I heard it. I just want to be sure.
So even to the extent that, you know, she's not in Nigeria, but she doesn't like Oyinbo food. She likes Nigerian food. I love Nigerian food. I like vegetables. I don't like all these. I love Oyinbo food, you know, stuff like that. And even up to the point of saying names. I love Nigerian. I love traditional names. I'm not so much in all these
names,
I don't know what they mean, so they don't really. And then for the first time, I'm hearing that I like Oyinbo. I like Nigerian names. I'm like, this is very not normal, because most people want to name their children. So we vibed on a lot of things. But there was not this part of my messages will be hanging for a day. While I am not somebody who wants to talk to you every single time because of my space, I am also not somebody who believes that I should be, because in my mind it's just being ignored. And I really don't want to say that was it for her, because I came to understand that, you know, she couldn't multitask. First time I meet somebody who could not multitask at any level. She could only pick one task part time. So I came to understand that. But I also realized that for me this is an issue. So it's a value thing. If I send you a message and then you cannot drop a message or a voice note, that's your value. Because one of the things you said to me is that friends are complaining to her about it. If your friends had complained to you about it, it has become your lifestyle.
Yeah, so it was a habit.
So it's a value for her that, you know, so I can't live with that.
So it was a major for you.
It was a major for me. The other ones that become minors at the end of the day, because in the light of this one, they pale.
And they love.
Oh, but she's such a fantastic person.
Oh, Caesar.
So it was a hard one. It was a prayer. It was prayer and prayer. Like no, but I know that.
But can it be corrected? Do you think you could
Can
have
it be
fixed
worked
if
on?
she made an effort? Or was it?
Effort is fantastic.
Was the connection with you strong enough for her to want to make an effort?
I can't speak to what she wants to do. That's the challenge. I can't speak
Why
to.
I'm asking is, did you give up too quickly, or did you make an attempt to say, okay, can we fix
So
this?
somebody says to you that my friends complain.
Did you stop there? Why didn't you take
No,
it further?
you-
So we're talking relationships now,
So
because
one of the
guy.
things that I realize as a mental health person is that you don't think that you can change anyone.
yeah,
You can defend, like Franda, Mama, I know you're going to listen to this. Franda K. Graves will say you can defend a person's innocence, but you can never defend their emotions, you can never defend their feelings.
cool. But guys, I mean, at what point do you, when she said, oh, my friends had complained, did this sound like my friends are complaining? Oh, I think I have a problem, I should fix this. Or was
That's
it my
it.
friends that it was finality that's who I am?
It sounded like if I don't.
That's
It
like
didn't
who I
sound like.
am.
It sounded like whoever is going to hook up with me has to live with
okay.
this.
Okay,
That's fine.
so that's it. Alright, so this is the story. This is the story that again. I'm sorry, guys, if I keep going on and on about my own relationship. We've been together since we were 20 what, and we are 40 what now.
Yeah, because when you were talking about Bumi thought it was a scam, I was going to say, but you had a long-term coaching.
It was 5 years.
So at that time, did you ever notice that introverted part of you?
But then he
for
was
him to be hit with it 2 weeks into marriage.
So what happened is,
Or was it a confined space that caused it?
No, not confined space. So he was 2 years ahead of me in university.
Oh yeah.
So and then he went for internship.
Right.
So it was always I'll come visit, and right after my service here, after my my studies, we were one of the first sets that went to service immediately. So we finished in May. Yes, we finished in May, and by August we had gone. We had gone to school, and he was also working on the island and radio. So yeah, he will come to radio. We chat. Sometimes he'll do my shifts with me, and that's all that we had really. Right? I'm not a going out person, so he just thought it was because of work that I didn't go out.
Yeah.
Sorry, and then, and then and then right after that, we had 1 year before after service. We had 1 year, and then we got married. And then in that 1 year, of course, I was thinking about 3-4 jobs.
Right.
So the only place that we saw church, office, or I go to First Act. Right. And this time, we have not seen before that, so we'll jive. My dad 2 weeks. Before.
And that was meant to be your honeymoon phase.
Oh man!
So imagine they were supposed to be all.
So now this is how I'm going to go. Why I mentioned
Sweetie,
yes.
I have a follow-up because I'm sorry, because in the context of mental health, now,
Yes.
which is what this is all about, the wellness. Do you think that part of what he saw or part of what manifested within those 2 weeks had anything to do with the wellness and your own diagnosed at the time, what's the word now? Condition.
Okay, so yes and no. Yes and no. For me, there are some certain things that had happened. You know, he saw something happen in my home, and then right after, I was walking him out, and I said, "I'm taking you out of here."
Yeah.
So for me in my head, safe space. I'm at home, so let me be. This is me. This not. So a couple of other things also. What I was going to round up with is, Sherry, all this talk I'm talking, it ends here. He is the talker. I'm not. Shocking. So when we have a disagreement, it was of course it took time for us to get this this rhythm.
All right.
But he always wondered why. See, we have issue. Let's talk. No, I need to process the issue, resolve it in my head. Then I will talk. So now, when there's issue, I will sit down, talk what you want to talk. When I'm ready, I type it.
Right.
It sounds. That's what I was talking about last time. That every relationship has the DNA.
Yes.
It sounds weird. A couple of people have said to you like,
But that makes a lot of sense. To me.
But that is the way we communicate, and it's worked.
It makes a lot of sense.
And sometimes, when the matter is doing, and I talk, say, I should just like, I just write it. Well, fine, just write it. So values in all of that. So the conclusion to the matter today is we have personality types, we have values, and what again did you talk about? Yeah, and energy, connection. Right. So this is what I'll say. Because values can be very fluid, I think. It can be very fluid.
When you say that, what you mean?
It evolves. It can be very fluid. I wish we could, but we're already out of time. I wish we could go on about that, but it can be very fluid. Because there will be one that is dominant, just like your personality.
Right. Okay. Then.
There's one. Do you understand?
Yeah.
There's one that will be done, but there's going to be some that will evolve as you grow in your relationships and in different phases.
Yes.
So, I unfortunately I don't have the website right now, but just Google take a value assessment test. Or I'll just put it in the show link. Take a value assessment test. I think I think that site is VIA Institute. Take a value assessment test, and just feel yourself, because what is done. When I took my assessment test, it said my number one was spirituality. Me spirit what? But I took it over and over, and in the space of maybe 3 months apart,
Right.
And it kept coming back to that.
Wow.
And eventually I accepted,
Right.
because anyone I'm going to connect with, it has to be on that
level.
existential level. It has to be. It has to be. If you're not existential, I can relate with you. I can. But so please, everyone get the value assessment test.
Have you done yours? I have mine.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I've done it, but
I've done it. I think
I'll
mine
check
is
this.
adventure number 1.
Not personality test though.
No, I know.
Yeah, value assessment.
I'll check.
Yeah, if you want to do your
adventure.
personality test, also you can definitely go to 16personalities.com. All right. The day I found out I was IFNJ, there was peace in my soul. And Bumi said, "There's scientific evidence to your madness." It's exactly what he said. And there was, and I because I'm not an extrovert, I'm not an introvert, I'm not an ambivert, and all that, and everything was just.
Making a lot of sense.
But when I took the Myers-Briggs test,
Right.
and I came out as IFNJ, I'm telling you, it shifted everything.
Give you a lot of
It
perspective.
gave me a lot of perspective. So when they say knowledge is power, it's not just book knowledge. Find out about yourself.
Yeah.
When you find out about yourself constantly and you're willing to go constantly, you would know.
Right.
You would know, and then you'll be able to, again, as you always say, you'll be able to give of yourself when you know of yourself.
True.
Final words, guys.
Ola, final words.
In a minute. Ola.
Thank you for inviting. Since it's 1 minute, let me just
Yeah, wait.
keep it to scoping. It's good having this conversation. In fact, my head is full. But in addition to the one other personality test, if you would like to take, would be the Big 5 test on personalities: the openness, conscientiousness, extrovertedness. That is something everybody should take, because then you know even more about some of the things that you do. Why am I disagreeable? Why am I always feeling like I'm on the other side of the table? Helps you to understand why you do what you do and how you can, play to your strengths and to your. But again, it's been good having this conversation.
Guys,
1
it's
minute.
learning. Oh man.
Both of you
I don't even
can
have
go
so-
on and on.
Number 1, I'm hungry.
Oh God.
But yeah, it's been a learning curve. Yeah, I always like when we have conversations like this, because it's an opportunity to learn, and then opposite for me to surprise myself sometimes. Say, okay, this is inside of you. Okay, you need to delve more
Fan
inside.
it to flame.
Yeah, and then just make sure that what you know doesn't just stay buried, because
Y'all should see what we're doing right now. We're fanning. Yeah.
guess what, guys, when you articulate what's going on inside of you, sometimes it helps to shape your thoughts, shape who you are, because you can to live a honest and open life, you can't just profess something and then do otherwise. What you profess has to be your lifestyle. That's when you're honest and open and living authentically. And so it's been fun hanging out with you guys and having these conversations, and I hope it
You're
helps
welcome.
somebody out there.
Yeah, I guess. I'm sure I'm going to get you guys. There's so many things I want to talk about. I want to talk about codependency. I want to talk about raising children. I want to talk about abortion. I want to talk about
Yes, we need to have that conversation.
Because all of these things, whether we like, I want to talk about how to be at peace when you're making money and not be and not
talk
be
about
in the
making
rat
money.
race. Yes, we're going to talk about making money. All of this is the full of
values.
mental
Right.
wholesomeness.
Yes.
Because we can't divorce ourselves from making money.
Right.
We can't, because when you're not making good money, it affects your mental health.
Yeah.
And you're doing business and you are it for hours and hours and years, and you don't know how to marry what's going on in the inside with what you're not seeing on the outside.
Yeah.
So let me not get started. So I'm going to drag you guys and so many other people into the studio. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Living Mindfully is everywhere on Amazon, on Barnes & Nobles, Robin Heights. You can even get the PDF version on Seller. Get a journal. I keep saying get a journal because that's the way you can give of yourself to yourself, and then you see yourself, and hopefully you read it over and you say, oh, is that me? And you get better. My name is Oluwatomise Oladapo Kuku. You can find out about me everywhere on Facebook, on Facebook, on Instagram, and everything that I think I do on www.blackhemajors.com. We're rounding this off now. Love yourself. Love your neighbor. Love your country. Above all of this, love God is the essence of your being.
Adieu, everybody.